Hey, what's up people? How are you? My name is Micaerys and welcome back to a new video. Recently I have been thinking a lot about books, plays, films, and I realized that even when you don't read or watch certain books or plays or movies, you usually get a lot of popular references and a lot of, I don't know how to tell it, like jokes or terms that came from certain books, novels, shows, and you understand them even if you don't read or watch or whatever those things. I am studying a theater career, so in my school it's very common that teachers use very known plays to explain certain things. For example, Shakespeare, the main plays of Shakespeare, like Macbeth or Hamlet, they explain them to us to show how certain characters work or certain trope works. And that's the thing that in my first 2 years of studies I learned a lot about those plays, but without actually reading them. So I started thinking about that how a lot of information about many many things, many books, films, etc., are of common knowledge, and many people doesn't bother to actually read those things or watch those things, etc. For example, the show Friends, a very known sitcom, it's very known, even of that not everyone watched that show, but it's like a very important reference if you are trying to write your own sitcom. Or, for example, I don't know, Edgar Allan Poe, that is a very important writer, has a lot of stories written in a very dark mood, like a lot of terror tales, kinda. And not everyone knows a lot about Edgar Allan Poe, but they know about his raven that scream nevermore, or the heart hidden under the floor that makes boom 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 boom, and only one person can hear it. So that made me realize that I often do that with many plays. Like, for example, I love mythology, but I don't always read all the plays about mythology. For example, about Medea, I read Medea, but Medea has a lot of versions of her myth, and they explain a lot of her story and her husband's story in the Argonautics of Apollonio of Rhodes. And well, I didn't read that second play, but I should. Or the story of Frankenstein or the story of Dracula. Both of them are very known. The two monsters are very known in the popular culture, in the terror culture, but I never read Frankenstein, even though I know how it goes, how it finished, and how the story changed when you bring it to the movies, for example. And the same with Dracula until I got interested in that story and I said like, hey, I should read it. So on Christmas they brought me this Dracula of Bram Stoker. And you're probably wondering, okay, what's the important thing about this? Okay, The important thing about this is, even though I know how Dracula finished and who are the characters and who is the bad guy and the final plot, blah 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 blah, the experience of reading about Dracula is really cool and really beneficial to me, because it's a book that show you a story in a very particular way. They don't get a narrator that tells you all the story, but instead they bring you documents like letters between friends, a diary from third-time character, recordings of a doctor, and a lot of things that brought all together. They kind of build the story in a very comfortable way, and I don't know, it's like a very original way of narrative and not very known, really. That's why I wanted to read Dracula, because the narrative of the book is fascinating, even if you know how it finished and how it goes and how it starts and everything. It's something that makes you a better writer if you can learn something about it. It's something that shows you something different to read if you are just that, a reader, and definitely something that can be useful to you in one way or another. So that's my conclusion, I guess, about this subject. Like, okay, everyone knows about the Trojan War, but not everyone reads the Iliad. So more people should do it. Not everyone watched Titanic, the movie, I mean. But maybe people should learn something about the historical event about the Titanic, because it can be really fascinating. So it's like, okay, we believe that we know a lot of things like history, fiction in books, plays, or movies, but we often don't know exactly how it goes, or we miss a lot of details on those creations that can be really useful and really interesting, and not many people pay attention to it. So I think that's my conclusion. You should think about what do you know about certain subject, and then think a bit about if you really know about it and if you want to learn more about it. It's like, don't believe that you know everything, because your own brain and your own memory can surprise you. And sometimes you find like a very nice surprise in a book that you think you know. So, yeah. I hope you liked this video, this little conversation with myself, because you are not really there, so you can't answer me directly. But yeah, I hope you like it. I hope you push the like button. I hope you comment if you want, or subscribe if you are not. And well, that's it. I hope you like it, and we will see each other in the next video. Bye.